Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurler. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language episode 353.
Sexiest podcast on the network.
I was expecting something more from you.
Run it. No, I got nothing. I was really quick, like had things going through my head, and it was all like nonsense.
It was crickets.
Shit.
It was just crickets. Admit it.
Yeah, exactly. It was. Yeah, exactly.
You got distracted. Yeah,
I did. I'm easily distracted, Brian.
That happens.
It does indeed. How the hell are you, mate?
Not too bad today.
On this early Sunday evening.
Oh yeah, I'm Brian.
And I'm Tony.
That's what the name tags.
And we are
Wild Stallions? I don't know.
Goddamn right.
Right. Two wild and crazy guys. Oh boy. It feels like it's been forever since we recorded, doesn't it?
Well, we had to record late this time.
Yeah.
And I don't remember when we recorded last time, but it does feel like it's been a long time.
It feels like a lot has happened since we recorded.
Maybe
we should, yeah. So, I don't know where you want to start here, but, yeah, why don't you kick it off? I think, cause you've got way more than I do, but.
I've got a kind of a laundry list a little bit.
I'll just jump in nimbly bimbly from here, here and there.
Kemosabe jump on it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like not last Friday, but the Friday before.
Mm-hmm. I remember that movie. No.
All right.
No.
That's why, because I think we recorded on that Thursday. So it's been it's been a long time since we recorded. That's why it feels forever.
Yep.
So the day after we recorded our last program,
Mm-hmm.
my lady and we went out.
Yeah.
Because she goes with some of her coworkers to a Name That Tune at the Orr House, which is going local here, folks. It's it's a bar out in a little suburb of Toledo called Point Place, and it's on the water. And as of this place, it's like on the river. It's actually a better bar than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like I've driven by it countless times. Every time I look, I'm like, that's a dive. That's a shithole.
Yep.
One of those situations.
That's the thought I've had too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we meet her. Well, I won't go. We don't need to divulge her name. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Go to her for coworker. And they had probably 15, 20 taps maybe.
Oh, that's not bad.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no shit. Crazy.
Yep.
So the big problem was not really had any food. It's like, well, we have 3 things. We have like mushrooms, cheese sticks, or pizza logs. It's like fried frozen shit. It's like,
of course.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're, the name that tune they run out there is actually, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the Name That Tune or the trivia we typically go to when you group up as like, okay, this is all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's by table. So, and we were sitting at the bar. So the bar, including the outdoor bar, is one collective team.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, it's like they go through, 80s, 90s, blah, 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 every round. And every table gets a question. And if they fail, the next table gets a chance to steal.
Okay. And
then at the end of that round, every table sends a representative out to the stage.
And they're shot.
Kinda, because it's the shot round.
Oh, okay.
Whoever wins that question, everybody on their team gets a shot on the house.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it kind of divulges into a shit show.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. But I mean, it was actually pretty fun, except, I sure hope they got a plumber there by now.
Yeah.
Because Brian, you know how it is when I go to the bar. Got pissed hard.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Do your piss thing. Yep.
And I was pissing so hard, apparently I must have dislodged some drainage situation or something. Because I'm sitting there peeing, and I'm like, where is this puddle coming from? And I look, and I might as well just been pissing on the floor.
Right.
For the amount of fluid that was coming out of the bottom of the urinal. It was slightly disturbing.
Wow. And you don't have like sandblaster piss like I do, so
Yeah, I wasn't blowing through PVC or anything.
Maybe you were. I don't. Yeah.
Maybe.
Shit. That's no bueno though.
Yeah, that was something. That's for sure.
Right. You come back and you're like, well, if you were wearing pants, it'd be like wet up to your knees.
Exactly. What the hell happened? Well. Later in the evening, they eventually threw a garbage bag over it, but the bathroom was pretty toe up by the time that happened.
I bet. Because people probably went in after you probably still used it,
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, there was 2, and I used the other one after I noticed that. Yeah. Like I said, I might as well just pee on the floor.
Well, considering I've been in bathrooms where they've had a trash bag and a do not use sign over it, and you see the trash bags tore open because clearly someone's used it.
Yes.
And you're like,
puddle of piss in the trash bag.
Right. It's like, well, there's your first mistake, assuming your customers can read.
Yeah, exactly. And aren't complete animals.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so we played the whole game, Named That Tune. I think we took third. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But we, there was a local band that haven't played together in years. And Jeannie's coworker was like, you guys got to hang out for this band because they're really good. Yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
So we go to the outdoor bar, waiting for this band to fire up. And, man, that place got fucking packed. Like assholes to elbows. And people everywhere.
It makes sense.
This older gentleman was trying so hard to pick up Jeannie's coworker, buying her drinks and talking to her. And, he was an older man. And yeah, it got a little weird.
Did he have patches on his jacket?
He was wearing a golf polo.
Oh, he still should have patches on his elbows then.
They were. There was like leathery, gnarly skin.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But it was starting to hit that point when I, looked over and saw one of my sister's ex-boyfriends in the bar, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Right.
They were like, it's time to go home anyway, because it was getting late.
Right.
Jeannie had to work the next morning.
About 8 o'clock or so.
Yeah, basically. but I don't know if I must have like spritzed on your cologne or something.
Yeah.
Because as we're leaving the bar, I got
Ode to Hard Pass.
No, not Ode to Hard Pass. Ode to Cougar.
Oh. Actually, I prefer to call it Cougaro.
Cougaro. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
I got descended upon. This one cougar came over and just started dancing as I'm trying to walk by the stage, and she just starts dancing with me. And then it was like raptors that came from the sides, Brian. They came from the sides.
That's what I told you when you originally told me this. I said you were like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World or whatever the hell it was. You know, when he's like, and the raptors around him are all paused. Fuck.
They weren't paused. They were dancing.
Oh, well, maybe they listen to the podcast and they know you're fun to dance with.
Maybe. Damn it.
That's a good pull right there.
So I threw a couple hip wiggles in, and then like basically put my hand on one side and was just like yanking.
Yeah.
Like
and
opening a sliding door.
Oddly enough, this is not the last Tony dancing story we'll tell tonight.
Oh. That might be a problem.
No, it's not really. It's just something kind of funny.
I'm sitting there thinking like, wait. But yeah, so we AM straight out of there. But all in all, I would go back to your house because I was honestly surprised at their bottled and tap selection.
Right.
And I can see that being a real good time when it gets warm because it is right out on the water, and their patio is fucking awesome.
Yeah. You just have to get there early probably to secure a spot. Yeah.
Well, I think it was packed too because of the band.
Oh, yeah, that could be.
But I from what I understand, they also start kicking up when it gets warm sand volleyball leagues, and it gets insane there.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
That's what I've been told.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But it was fun. We had a good time. Had a good time. Then the next day, I believe, we went out for my birthday.
Yep. That was something.
Yeah, what'd you think of that Cuban food?
Oh, dude. So good.
Right?
So good. It was really cool because it was weird when I first looked at the menu because I didn't realize that they had Cuban food. So when I was looking at like different foods, I was like on the one side they had like Gigundo burrito, quesadillas, and chimichangas. And the way the thing was set, I thought that the meat choices at the bottom were just for like the quesadilla. And then I realized that was for anything in that little section there. And because I saw Cuban brisket, and I was like, really? Because, all right then.
Say.
So I was like, give me all of that inside of a chimichanga. It was so good. I was so happy with what I got. And it didn't, it wasn't one of those gigantic burritos like Josh got,
Yeah, it looked like a newborn baby on a plate, dude, basically. Covered in enchilada sauce.
I mean, that's how I like them, but... Oh, fuck. It was so good, though. Although, we gotta tell the quick story of the, of asking about the beers. Because...
Oh, my God.
The only complaint I had about the place.
Yeah, that guy was not good. And then the bartender, too, wasn't it?
Yes.
Didn't she chime in? Okay.
Yeah.
After you, sir.
Well, Jeannie asked, because when he asked us if we wanted a beer list, and we were like, yes, because we generally get a beer list if one's available. And the beer list just basically said the brewer's name. It didn't say what beer it was. Like, it would say Sam Adams, but it wouldn't say, I'm sure if they had Sam Adams, it was Cold Snap because of the time of year. Or it was just plain Sam Adams or, something like that.
Right.
But like they had one, they had a black Cloister handle, and we were like, oh, what Cloister beer do you have? And the guy was like, I'll find out. He goes to the bartender and comes back and he says, what was it? She says it's an ale, but it tastes, or not an ale, a blonde, but it tastes like an IPA or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like those two beers don't compute.
Yeah. And he brings a sample out and we try it and I'm like, whatever, give me a pint of that. And when he brought it out or over to me, it was not the beer we tasted. It was a different beer.
No.
I definitely had an IPA. I don't know whose it was, but it was an IPA.
Right.
So
that was weird.
yeah, it's like, how do you work bar? Okay. They didn't have like 1,000 taps either. They had like 6 or 7 or something.
Half of them are like Mexican beers.
Right. And most of the others are like Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors, that kind of shit. There was only a couple that weren't. So I was like, how do you not know and I was like, well, obviously it's because they probably don't sell a lot of those. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know, because that part of downtown Toledo is very hipstery.
Yeah,
people
that's
love
true.
their beer. It's
That
surrounded by bars that have amazing beer.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
That's just a shitty bartender, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, it's funny because I put more on her than I do on our server because, I mean, either of them, they could be new, who knows, but it was still like, how are you behind the bar and don't know what the fuck beer you have? I mean, that's like your job.
Exactly.
That is exactly your job.
Yeah, this is what you do.
Right. Unless maybe she was just filling in for a minute while no, she was back there the whole time.
She was there the whole time.
Yeah, so whatever. But anyway, it didn't ruin anything. The beer was still fine, as I still got an IPA and, I'll drink an IPA, no problem. So, yeah. That food though.
Oh, yeah, the food there is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely going to have to go back there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
for sure.
Oof.
Right.
Yeah, the stuff I got, it was the descriptor was just basically fried steak.
Right.
And it was like shredded, the shredded Cuban steak. Then it's fried and it's rice and beans and plantains and the yucca. Oh my God, it was so good.
It looked really good when they brought it out.
Way too much food.
Yeah. The only thing
it
that I thought was weird was I think they were trying to get a little too fancy with that plating for yours. It looked like they were trying
the rice and the beans are separate and all that.
Well, it looked like they were trying to do a sculpture or something a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, mine looked like it had just been slapped together on the plate and I didn't give a shit. That was totally okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like beans and guac and sour cream and lettuce and whatever else was in there.
Well, it's like that thing on Netflix, Ugly Delicious, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But whatever.
Right.
And then we also had weird beer because we went to the one of my favorite beer bars, the Attic, because they have a shitload of beer. But we also had a weird beer experience there too.
Yes,
because it's that time of year. It's chill wave season.
Oh man, fucking A. Yeah.
Great Lakes Brewing's double IPA, love it. Tastes delicious.
Yep.
Always comes out around my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the Attic, and I'm looking at their list, and it's like, man, there's nothing here that's really screaming to me.
Right.
And then it clicked. I'm like, where's Chill? So I asked the woman, I'm like, hey, do you guys have Chill Wave? And when she's like, well, we really try to focus on the more micro brews. And Great Lakes Brewing's really kind of like a macro, and we're just trying to get the small. It's like,
but they're not, because Sam Adams counts as a microbrew. And Sam
and
Adams is way bigger. Yeah. That's what
Lagunitas.
I was just going to say. You and I started pointing out other brewers that they have, and we're like, those are bigger than Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know they had a Jackie O brewery. They had a tap takeover recently, so they had a bunch of stuff from them.
Yeah.
Never been a huge fan. And she sold me on one of the beers when she's like, only one keg of this left the brewery, and we have it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me try it. And I wasn't really a fan.
Nah, it was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like...
That's honestly all of their beers. I don't really think I hated most of them, but I didn't love them. I'm just like, it's a beer. Like, it's okay. I don't know how. I've read various things about how they've won awards, and I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Real quick aside, I saw a Cloister post the other day that the True Scotsman and the Bourbon Barrel Aged True Scotsman both won awards recently, as they should. Because,
I saw that as well, and they should.
Yeah.
Because it's delicious.
It's a great beer. Yeah. Both of them. Anyway, back to the...
So, we hung out at the Attic for a while, had some drinks. Our buddy Dave, shout out Deckman Dave.
Yep.
He showed up, which is always good to see him. I don't see him enough.
Hold on, you're glossing over our okay beer.
What?
You said you're glossing over our okay beer.
How could I forget about okay beer? Poland's finest.
because we both ordered a can of I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, they didn't.
It was a legit tall boy beer that was. It might even been a Lagunitas or something.
I think it might have been.
Whatever it was, I was like, oh, this is a good beer.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sold out.
Yep.
So instead, they offered up for the same price.
Yeah.
Tall boy K beer.
Right.
This is its name.
And I'll tell you what.
Okay.
One of them was okay. 2 was a terrible idea. Because by the end of that second one, I was like, nope.
2 was right out.
Yeah. I should not have gotten a second one.
Okay.
No. You definitely made the better choice by switching.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't
That's
terrible. It was just, by the time I got done with it, I was regretting it. So, just wishing I had gone for Flavor Country instead.
Right. Always Flavor Country.
Yeah. Man. All right. Yay, Skype for fucking up on us. Yay.
I'm assuming I sound like a robot.
You do. I'm actually going to stop for a minute so we can sort this out. Hey everybody, this is Brian, from Salty Language, obviously. But I also want to tell you about the other podcast that I'm on called The Crazy Life. It's me, my pal Heno, and my friend Jen, and we talk about mental illness stuff, mental health things. We go over articles a lot of times and try to share tips and what's worked for us as far as the paths that we've been on with, depression, anxiety, bipolar, alcoholism and such. So if any of that sounds like something you'd want to listen to, check us out. Just anywhere you download your podcast, just type in The Crazy Life.
Yeah, so okay beer's not okay after 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
also, we're back.
It was probably more like 1.5 I was okay. And then after I got past that, I was like, this really isn't good beer.
It's not even okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I should have chosen something else. I was really disappointed they didn't have whatever else it was we ordered, because that I would have probably drank all night. But, oh well.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I think we had, one more there, and then we hustled on because our buddy Josh was like, hey, I'm going to do some sort of karaoke contest or whatever. We're like, okay.
Yep.
I didn't really care. I was just like, let's just go do something, basically, is how I was feeling.
Yeah, I was along for the ride, so it didn't matter to me.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we went to another place called, it was Andy's JoJo's or some shit. It used to be like an Irish pub.
Yeah.
Before apparently the guy had some tax issues, from what I understand.
Yeah, fair enough.
You'll have that. Super surprised when we walked in that this place had 70 taps of beer.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because I remember going to it back when it was the other place, and it was nowhere near as impressive.
No,
it looked
it's
way
laid out
nicer.
different. The bar was bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can tell they've spent a couple dollars making it look better too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy, I'm like, how many beers or taps? And he said 70, but we're working on 100.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
So yeah, and we're like, oh, well, you go on a tall or a short? And Jeannie asked, well, what's the size difference? She's like, oh, well, the tall's a 16 ounce. Like, oh, a pint's perfect.
Yeah.
Wrong. Those had to be 20, 23 ounces.
Yeah. They were at least 20, but I think they might have been a little bigger. Yeah.
They were for sure not a pint.
That's okay. I'm fine with that size.
Yeah, that was good. And then,
whatever it was that I had, that size was, I think, $6.
You can't argue with that price point.
No, and it was a craft beer. It's not like I got a PBR or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But all in all, I was kind of impressed by that place. I would go back there too.
Yeah. Yep.
And some of the karaokeing from some of the people a little lackluster. You'll have that.
Yeah, you will have that. The only time I've ever been into karaoke thing and it was all pretty good was the one time we were in Mutts and they had it. I don't know if you remember. We were like, man, these people are like professionals.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah. But other than that, no, there's generally going to be some people that are just awful. But whatever.
Bar gave me a birthday shot, which was nice.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's what derailed my face the next morning, though.
Nah.
I mean, I felt fine, and then all of a sudden T showed up. We did a shot, and I think one more beer and we left.
Yeah, I think so.
But fuck,
yeah,
I woke up feeling like the hottest of garbage.
Well, before we get to that, I have to tell your other dancing story.
Yes, please.
And it was at one point I think you were standing like in front of Jeannie or something like that. Like she had turned around, and I don't remember what was going on, but you started like basically mock dancing. You know, you were like shaking your hips or whatever. And there was that guy who was really bad at karaoke. He started like doing the same thing, and he started moving toward you.
Oh, I remember you telling me this now.
And in my head, I'm going, please let this happen. Please let this happen. Please. Cause I can see it playing out. I want that story, right?
Right.
Well, then you stopped. And when you did, he immediately was like, dance back the other way. So I was very disappointed, but yeah. Looking back,
I blame you for wanting that.
Yeah, right? You would have wanted the same thing if it were me doing it. So.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Looking back, I kind of wonder if, that guy has some sort of like, mental issue or something, because I noticed when he sang, people at the bar were like really clapping him up and stuff. So either they know him, like he's a regular or something, I don't know. But
I'm sure he's probably there every time they do karaoke.
Probably. He was drinking water though, so it's, you know, he wasn't like knocking beers back, so you couldn't blame it on the alcohol. But whatever, he was having a good time, so I guess that's really all that matters. You know, we were having a fine time.
I mean, you are correct. Why should we shit on him terribly?
Because we're awful people.
I guess there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fine. We're awful.
Right. All right.
They also, which we might want to keep in mind for the future, because I remember seeing the banners and shit up, have UFC events.
Yes. I saw that too. It was on the back of their shirts too.
Yeah, so that might be something to keep in mind, because we haven't gone to a venue to see a UFC in quite a while.
Right, and I can throw down some JoJo's Pizza while we're there too.
For sure.
I'd be okay with that.
Say, not seeing UFC in a while seems like bullshit to me, Brian.
Yes. And the way the place is laid out, it doesn't seem like, even if they were busy, it doesn't seem like you would be like, you know, elbow to elbow.
No, I think it'd be okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're right. We'll have to keep that in mind.
But I mean, that was about the extent of that weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah, I didn't do much else
and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? How was your week after that?
That would be the week we were just concluding, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just looking at my list here. I didn't really do a lot that's really worth talking about, I guess. You know, I've had some stuff that kind of big stuff happened that, you know, unfortunately I'm not going to talk about on here, but you know. But yeah, it was overall a pretty good week though. Like it didn't feel, I mean, our weather's been gorgeous here for the most part.
Right.
And I'm getting so many damn headaches. It sucks. Like today I woke up and I was like, oh man, cause I was like, I don't know if I'm going to, you know, it's one of those, like, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I hope this goes away or I'm not going to be able to do anything today. And luckily it did. It's lightened up quite a bit. So I'm
that's a good thing.
Very happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
But earlier in the week, you know, like you and I used to play Magic, as no secret here.
Yeah, right.
And you know, I constantly have the itch to play. You know, like it's never left me. Like I always, every time they put out a version on like the Xbox or PlayStation, I'm always like, ooh, I got to get that. And they just put out a game I told you a little bit about called Arena, for like PC and stuff. So I downloaded the beta for that. And, but my nephew was telling me about a couple couple formats that are being pushed by. There's a shop that opened, 5 minutes from my place, maybe? You know, it's pretty close.
Right.
And, so I went up there with him the other night to, look for commons and stuff, you know, just do the old sort through the common, box which is funny because as I was doing it, I was like, this makes me appreciate the fact that stores like Collector's World and our store, when we used to, at least we sorted by set and color, Yeah. Like,
yes.
we didn't do alphabetical because that's just a fool's errand.
Yeah,
but,
fuck that noise, I believe.
But I would always put them by color, and with these, they weren't. They were all just together. Like, pretty much like, as you open packs, they're just in there kind of like that. There were some big pockets of colors, but it was, Anyway, no big deal, though, It's because, like, we knew what we were looking for, essentially, so, you could skim through. Like, we're looking for blue cards. So you just skim through anything that wasn't blue, and then, from there we were looking for, actually it was an uncommon, and one of them were, so you can look at the symbols and stuff. But anyway, we're doing that for a little while and stuff. And while we're in there, we're talking with there were a few guys in there, and the owners were in there, and we're just, yammering with them, basically.
Right. Did it feel like the good old days? It
did, dude. It really did. Remember, I was just talking last time about going into a comic shop and going, man, I'm home,
Right.
It just, we're standing in there, and the funniest part to me was now when I go into a place like that and they talk about cards from like when we were playing in our youth, that they're like, one guy, there was one card, I can't remember what it was now. He's like, I bought a set the other day, and he's like, it was like $150. And I'm like, in my head, I'm remembering, trading nothing for them, basically having pages of, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny. Well, it's not, because the prices are ridiculous. But it's weird listening to people talk about cards that we had enough to wipe our ass with,
Right.
And they're like, man, these are hard to find. And I was like, how? Anyway, the way they have their cases merchandised is really neat. Instead of having big cases like we have, they have one of those that like the cash wrap is,
Okay, right.
But on the walls, they have basically a case that's like, I don't know, picture if you had a door, but it was a display case. Okay.
Okay, right.
And then it's got the little plastic slats in there so they can, put, rack or row after row of cards, like from the top to the bottom. And they have, one for each of the colors and land and everything. So it doesn't, like you walk in, there's still a bunch of floor room.
So they're thinking in the third dimension.
Yeah, really. They merchandise the store vertically, on those points, which makes tons of sense. Because that area of the shop isn't really big. If they had to put another display case in there, it would really kind of close off the place. So I was, when I saw that, I was like, that's really smart,
So now I got to ask you a question.
What's that?
Because I recently saw it at Game Shop, and I was like, the fuck?
Right.
How is their board game selection?
As far as I know, they are just a Magic store.
Okay, all right. Because, just real quick, because we were out of town this weekend, and Logan wanted to go to a game store, and so I found the only one I could find in the area, right?
Yeah.
And when we walked in, it was basically a Warhammer store.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and it's like, holy shit, which, Warhammer's super expensive now, what we were looking for, we left.
Right.
So I was just curious, because, we're like a board game family.
Sure.
Is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, carry on, sir.
Yeah, so it was, it wasn't bad though. It's like, then they have like this next kind of section where there's like a room off to the side where they have a bunch of cards that are organized, like I think alphabetically organized. And like if they don't have something in the cases or whatever, they can go in there and look. Cause there's something about like the way their inventory, their system works or something. It's, I think it's set up separately or I don't know. But, the only thing that really sucks, and they've got, gaming tables in there, and then they have more there's like a basement, I guess, with more tables. The only thing that sucks, and this isn't their fault, it's just the state of things, is that, there's no, like, magazine price guides anymore,
Oh, no shit. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, because everything is so digital and it changes so fast now that they're so outdated by the time they hit, like Wizard doesn't exist anymore,
Right. God, it's so weird.
Right? And, So when you go up with a stack of cards, they kind of have to go through the whole system to find the card or type in every card. I'm sure there's a better way. I'm sure you could barcode every card or just like common, you know what I mean? Like, and then just scan it and put in the number, and then on your rares or whatever, you know, you would put at least the better rares or whatever, you know, put them in individually. But it just kind of sucks. Like if you go up and say, hey, how much is this? They have to look it up. Like, yeah, exactly. You know, and it, you know, it, like I said, it's not their fault. It's just how all the shops are basically now. Like, because the prices fluctuate so much. You know, it's a real pain in the ass.
That seems annoying. Yeah, I can understand that. Jeez.
Right. Like when we were standing there, you know, my nephew takes up a stack of cards, and I mean, we were standing there for a while dude entered them all in, you know, that what he was getting and stuff. And I'm like, man. But again, I'm not mad at them because that's, you know, that's the system, you know.
Now, by enter them all in, do you mean like they have an actual like, or is he just looking them up online basically?
Basically, that's what's happening. Because I think what a lot of the shops do now is they basically ally themselves with the one I know of is like what is it? It's like TCG Collector or something like that, and that site has kind of become like the go-to for Magic pricing. So storage, you can like connect. I think you basically can use their program, and it will, you know, as long as you have internet access, it'll connect you and you can have current pricing. But you've got to type in every card that someone's buying.
That's annoying.
Exactly. And that's the part that it's like, there has to be a better way than this, but the industry has not found it that I'm aware of, because I've read stuff from other people online about having to wait a long time while the store looks up their cards, you know, to tell them how much stuff is or whatever. And it's like, ugh. At least with the magazines, you could flip through it real quick and have a price, you know, and
yeah, for sure.
Like I said, if you had a barcode system, it would make more sense where you just scan it and it would pull it up, you know? And maybe that's available, but I haven't seen a shop use it yet. They all seem to just look up the cards. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, here's what I could see eventually happening, Ryan, is there's going to be eventually an app or something.
Yeah.
Because every card has different artwork, right?
Yep.
So why couldn't you take a picture of the card, or like, you know, just, you know, have your video camera on or whatever, and it just reads it?
Well, funny you should mention that. They're actually, I just saw a thing on some, you know, an Instagram ad the other night that there's some place that basically it's a collection tracker. And basically you can hold your phone, you know, up over a Magic card and it'll scan the card essentially and enter it into your collection. So it's like if that exists, that needs to exist for the POS systems. Well,
yeah, definitely.
You know, so yeah, I don't know if anyone listening, if you go to a shop and they use something more like this, let us know, because I'm very curious. I haven't seen one yet, but it seems like such an easy. It seems like a duh kind of fix, but I don't know for sure what the fix would be. You know. Because you do,
yeah, for sure.
You do need to be able to tie to something to see if the price went up. Because, you know, prices literally go up on cards day to day or down. Versus with the magazines and stuff, it was, you know, month to month. So
yeah, I was about to say that, because I was like, I can only assume cards fluctuate so fast now.
Right, because if someone tomorrow posts a deck,
be like,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I assume you can't just be like, well, all these cards are $5. You know?
Right, exactly.
Because you're just gonna say, if someone posts a deck with some dopey card in it, it spikes, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens. You know, is I've seen it so many times over the last few years. Is, you know, someone will post some deck and it's got some really obscure card that people basically used to just tear in half. You know. And throw away kind of a card, and all of a sudden it's like a $15, $20 card now because, you know, nobody can find them.
Right.
So it's, yeah. So I said, it's like, I get it. It's not the guy's fault at the shop. They were super nice guys. You know, I really liked them. They're passionate about the product and such, you know, so that's all you can ask for. And they were great. Customer service wise, they were fantastic. But,
right.
Like I said, the problem isn't them. It's just kind of the industry at the moment hasn't adjusted completely. Although what's weird to me is they've had a lot of time, because not too long after we closed our place, which was 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
The price guides started going by the wayside, and Star City Games was the place to get your prices from. Basically, you'd use like their median price because their high price was too much. So it's like they've had all this time to get that sorted out. It just seems like, you know, it should have been done by now. So I don't know.
So weird.
Right. Unless maybe, like I said, it exists in like maybe more expensive POS that these shops can't afford because they're, you know, little shops. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting about that. But it was a nice shop. So you know, like I said, the best part is the guys, you know what they're talking about, and they seem really helpful about trying to help you find what you're looking for.
Well, at least there's that.
Yeah. Which is exactly, I mean, that's all you can ask for. That's what you want from a shop, you know? So,
right.
And they run stuff almost every night, I think. You know?
Oh, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's, you know, like we did where it was, you know, like our Wednesday tournaments that were like $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently that's become pretty normal around town. So.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, anyway, so it was kind of fun going back in there, and then we sorted through. I don't have much left, you know, but what I do have left, we were going through pulling cards out for, you know, a couple cheap decks basically, and it's just, you know, every time you do that, you kind of have that nostalgia, and again, that little twinge of, I should start playing again.
Yeah, I mean, the occasional times when, you know, the kids want to like break out some of the old decks we built years ago.
Right.
You know, and after I get done, you know, mopping the floor from them,
mm-hmm.
I always feel that same thing. Like, God, I kind of feel like, and then I just shove that shit down.
Right.
Like, no.
All it takes for
expensive.
me, exactly. All it takes for me is I'll jump on, take your pick of any of the deck building sites, you know, and I'll start looking at what the current stuff is, you know, and all of them now just about have a link to where you can basically either they're in an affiliate program or you can buy directly from their site, you know?
Right.
So there's always a price for the whole deck, and I'm like, Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, that squashes it real quick. You know,
but
especially when the one on the Xbox is like $10. Well, actually, the newest one's free.
If I could just hop online and play, I might check that out.
Exactly, and that's what it looks like Arena is going to be. Like you can, you know, much like the any free to play game, you know, you can do certain things, and if you want to do things faster or whatever, you know, then you can probably buy, you know, different things too.
Right.
But that would be fine with me, you know, like just the ability to play, even though I can't play with everything or, you know, I kind of have to play with what they say is available, but it's still, I'd rather do that than have to dump a shit ton of money back into building one deck.
Yeah, for sure, right?
And then probably being done with it in like 2 months. If you play it that long.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, there we go.
Wow. Fair enough.
Yep. Ugh.
Well, you know, my week was just work. I was working by myself, getting just my, you know, face kicked in a lot.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. We're not going to worry about that. We're not even going to talk about that.
We just did.
Damn it. But I took Friday off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my son, as crazy it is starting to go on college tours.
Right.
And he wanted to go check out Western Michigan, which is in
for those who don't know, Tony's son is a stand-up comedian.
He thinks he is sometimes.
Yeah, he's not.
But it's in Kalamazoo, which is a decent drive from here. It's probably 2.5 hour drive from here.
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? We did dinner with my parents on Thursday night for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why don't we just, I'll take Friday off and we'll just, Thursday after dinner, we'll just drive to the cottage because then it's like an hour.
Right.
Why not? So that's what we did. It was quite nice. We had a nice meal. Zing, zang, zoom. Drove to the cottage. I was hoping to actually record our episode at the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, we didn't get on dinner till like 8. And by the time we got there, it was just like, it's too fucking late. You know? Yeah. Because we had to get up bright and early the next morning to get to the campus in time for his tour.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But yeah, so, Kalamazoo's a cool little town because we got there a little early and they, went and found some coffee shops, Brian.
I'm surprised.
And of course there's breweries everywhere in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where Bell's is at,
Mm-hmm.
But, found a nice coffee shop, got some Java in my face, and we went on this college tour. And cool, I mean, Logan, it's Western, Michigan University is what we put that.
Right.
Shout out. Logan enjoyed the campus a lot. He wants to be an engineer, and they didn't take us to the engineering school, which kind of sucks.
That's
but what are you
a little
gonna do?
weird. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, it's on it's like 15 minutes away from main campus.
Oh,
15-minute
okay.
drive.
Okay.
So, yeah, if it's like one of those things, if you want to see it, you have to arrange it,
Okay.
But, yeah, so we just
really
walked around
quick though,
camp.
did you
Yes, sir.
schedule like an appointment there, or did you guys just go and say, hey, we want to see stuff?
They have tours at set times.
Oh, okay. Because I was
So
going
you
to say,
show
if
up.
it's like something you called and scheduled, I'd be like, why wouldn't they ask you what you're interested in? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But the thing I hate doing, which is listening to myself talk.
Right.
The lady that presented, opened the tour when talked about the college, should record herself doing it. Because it was like this. Western University of Michigan, well, we have a great campus and every third word, to the point, I get a text. I was like, who's texting me? I look, it's Jeannie. Can she say anymore?
Right.
Which, of course, I have to respond, probably.
Right. Listen, I'm not going to rag on her because, we've all got our crutches.
Oh, we all have our verbal crutches.
Right.
And, when we first started recording this, I did go back and listen. I was like, wow, I say that a lot. And I know I still say shit a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
But, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it was horrible. so we had that. And then
it is true though. If you're giving a tours like that, you probably shouldn't be using all the time.
Yeah, and she didn't even give the tour. It was just I am the face of the college. I'm the first person you're going to hear from.
Oh, right.
And here's a slideshow with everything we do.
It's like, no, is in Ann Arbor. This is
nice.
That's a University of Michigan joke for anyone who didn't get that. Yeah.
Hi-oh.
Yeah, it was a terrible joke though.
Well, so after she then went around the room. She wanted to ask everybody, hey, why are you here? What do you want to study? And the person sitting right in front of us, which before the presentation started, she turned around and she started talking to Jeannie, and she's like, oh, hey, are you guys from Chicago? We're like, no. We're from Temperance, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like, huh? We're like, it's just north of Toledo. Oh, okay, I think I drove through there once. It's by Cleveland, right? I'm like, what?
Yes and no?
Well, no, it's north of Toledo, and because I'm thinking we're in the lake then,
Right. Right.
So I'm immediately like, this lady's dumb. So they were the first group, because of course they sat in the front row. They were the first, the lady's like, so, what's your name and what do you want to come here and study? And the kid's mom, the Cleveland lady, who, me? It's just like, wow.
Oh, man.
Clearly, no, not you.
Boy, I hope your kid didn't get his intelligence from your side.
Yeah, no shit. That was something.
Wow.
That was something. But yeah, the tour was all right. It was windy as fuck. I couldn't hardly hear what the student was saying because it was so ungodly windy. And because it's in summer break, they just had commencement and all that. She accidentally grabbed the wrong keys for one building, so we couldn't get in a building.
Oh, geez.
There happened to be a maintenance guy at another building that let us in. The tour felt real awkward and haphazard.
Wow.
But Logan really enjoyed the campus.
Which is all that matters. Yeah, it's just, man. But you know what, though? It's like, when you're doing that, that's the first impression thing, and it's like, I could see where somebody might be like, man, this place needs to get his shit together. Like,
yeah,
I don't know that I want my kid going here because are they this bad about the, classes and,
yeah, right.
I could see where somebody might, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, you would think, because that this is the first impression you get as a college.
Exactly, yeah.
They'd want to nail it.
I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody has bad days and shit happens, but it's still, I could see where somebody might have that opinion,
Oh, for sure, right? Yeah. But yeah, we're in Kalamazoo. My thought was, hey, now that the college tour is done, we're all hungry. We should go to Bell's and get lunch.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But we opted instead to leave Kalamazoo, get out of the city area, and we hit up because our next goal is we're going to meet Dev and his family because we're going to Western Michigan for tulip time.
Right.
Yeah. So we're leaving Kalamazoo, heading northwest. We drive through Paw Paw, Michigan, and there is Paw Paw Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, this is where we're going to do lunch. Excellent choice, by the way.
Yeah.
It's one of those places where we pulled up, and it was itty bitty.
Mm-hmm.
I parked by the grill that they cook on.
Wow.
And it's like a grill anybody would have in their backyard.
Wow.
Yeah. And walk in, and the place was, it probably had maybe 10 tables on one side, and there was a breaker wall, and then at a bar and a little outdoor patio. But they probably had 20 plus beers that were theirs on tap.
Nice.
We didn't play all the beers because I still had a decent drive ahead of me, but we played most of the beers.
Right.
But we got a good selection of beers. They had a thing called a prickle, which is a pickle wrapped in bacon, wrapped in Swiss cheese. That was pretty good.
All right. That's interesting.
And then their special they were having that day was a prime rib burger for $5, and it was delicious.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, this place is great.
Wow. Yeah, that seems all
good
right.
Good beer. The food is good. The kids enjoyed it. We played Uno the whole time because they had a bunch of board games.
Right.
Yeah, it was Paw Paw Brewing, pretty legit.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we continued our journey north, and we eventually made it to Grand Haven, which is where the campground we stayed at them last time we were in Western Michigan was. But this time, because last time we rented a trailer, pulled off a truck, it was a whole situation. They rented a cabin. We just threw in some money towards it, you know?
Uh-huh.
The sleeping situations weren't the greatest.
Oh, yeah?
Because they had fold-out couches.
Oh, boy.
I'm like, oh, well, we're like, sorry, kids. We bought air mats. You guys get the air mats. Mom and I are going to sleep on this one couch. Dev's parents have the master room. Dev has a big-ass air bed. Dev's sister has the other couch.
Right.
You guys are the low men on the totem pole.
Yep.
Oh, man. That first night, dude, that pull-out mattress, fucking brutal.
Wished you would have went with the air mattress, huh?
Dude, it's like stabbies.
Oh, yeah, I know all about that.
Like things, yeah, for sure, right?
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
So the first night was not so good. Like, Leah slept on the air mat. Logan opted to sleep in the car.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'll just fast forward to sleeping situation day 2, because we're going to try this as something different day 2.
Mm-hmm.
I used Logan's air mat. I slept on the floor because I'm taller than Jeannie. Jeannie slept on the couch with the cushions.
Right.
And then because we had a giant king-size comforter, so it was like a waterfall effect.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what I should have done was read the instructions on these air mats.
Mm-hmm.
Because it recommends the first time you use them, you let them fill up overnight.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got like air bladders in it that just fill up when you unscrew it.
Okay.
And then you can roll it up so it squishes all the air out, and you close the valve, and then boom, it stores away nice.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So day 2, Leah slept better because her mat actually had air in it. Mine, I might as well just slept on the floor. It wasn't a great scene for me last night. hence why I'm like, we should record earlier. Because I'm a side sleeper, and every time I'd sleep on my side, I'd wake up at about an hourly increment with half my body just numb.
That's pretty good, though, right?
That was a great time.
Yeah, that's normal.
So, yeah, the sleeping situation wasn't great. Everything else was amazing.
Right.
Because, we hit up, after we settled in and had dinner, Dev, Jeannie, and I, we went into Grand Haven and went to Grand Armory Brewing, because you got to hit breweries.
Right.
And that place was legit as fuck. It was a coffee shop, a barbecue shop, and a brewery, and an art store, art gallery.
Wow. Okay.
And it happened to be the artist they were featuring was someone Dev knows from the comic book world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was weird.
That's cool.
I unfortunately don't remember her name. I'll give her a shout out.
Right.
But it was so loud because they had a live band, and we were up on the second floor, and it was packed. And we only had a couple beers, then we went back. But, I mean, the beers were awesome. They had a bourbon barrel-aged peanut butter beer that was delicious. I mean, it was very right-on beers, Brian.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, for sure. The next day, our whole goal was we're going to get up, go into Holland, eat breakfast, and then make our way into downtown Holland because the Tulip Fest, plus we wanted to get to New Holland. And oddly, Dev's dad was the one who was real gun-ho because they had a Bloody Mary bar and he wanted to get it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, right?
Yep.
Let me tell you, man, New Holland Brewing, I mean, I won't just slide over to breakfast we had. It was amazing. It's this place called The Biscuit. We waited 40 minutes, but the food's amazing.
Okay.
Well worth the wait. But whatever. But dude, New Holland, we got there, they opened at 10, or was it 11? Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We got there about 10 minutes before they opened. There's already a line forming.
Wow.
And the place is huge when they finally let us in. I mean, it's got a massive bar on one side, a ton of tables. Then it's got an upstairs above that. On the other side, it's got more tables that lead to an outdoor area. And then behind it's got a huge beer garden. And that place filled up so quick.
Yeah, I bet.
Which, I mean, if it's New Holland, Dragon's Milk. We were going to do a flight of dragons, but they only had 2 on the menu.
Ooh.
They had just standard issue Dragon's Milk and then the chocolate cherry, which I got, and it was delicious.
I was going to say, it's probably really good, though, yeah.
It was good. And we played all the beers we hadn't had before at New Holland.
Right.
Because, a lot of them we've had.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, did some amazing New Holland. Apparently the Bloody Mary was amazing. I didn't partake because I was like, that's a terrible idea. Because I saw how much vodka they gave him.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, do they do spirits there, or is it just they just use whatever vodka?
No, that's all. Most of the stuff they have is all because New Holland makes their own spirits now too.
Okay, I thought I remember reading that somewhere. Okay.
So you could either get your standard vodka, or they have jalapeno infused vodka, garlic infused vodka, and then a garlic basil vodka.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I saw garlic basil. I was like, I think I'm going to make that at home.
Right.
Because that sounds incredible for Bloody Marys.
Yeah, it really does.
And all it is just garlic and basil in a jar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not like it's anything fancy. Yeah.
No, it's super easy to infuse shit.
Yeah.
But, I would for sure go back. I bought a hat because it was so sunny and I didn't bring any hats, which is really unusual for me.
Yeah. You would have been fine, dude.
Oh, my chrome dome.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so I got a nice little New Holland ball cap.
Yeah. I was going to say, you would have been like me at Put-in Bay when we were outside, and I'm like, I'm going to take my hat off for a little while.
Yeah, terrible.
What a terrible idea. Yeah.
I also bought some cigars, and I'm regretting one thing.
Not
Because the cigar shop I went in, there was a Cuban dude in the corner rolling cigars.
Okay. Wow.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome. So I bought house cigars,
Yeah.
Because, they were $4 a piece. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll get a couple of these. I don't know if they're good or not, but whatever. It's $10 for the pair.
Right.
And as I'm cashing out, I can hear the guy who owns the shop talking to someone else about how they take their house cigars and then age them in Dragon's Milk barrels.
Oh, my.
And it's like, fuck, I should have bought some of those.
Next time.
I have it marked on my map for next time.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a reason to go back, for sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tulip Fest is apparently a big deal.
Okay.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I mean, it's Holland, Michigan, tulips, I get it.
Okay.
The amount of people in Holland was insane.
Really?
Like we actually got rear-ended going to a parking spot. No damage to the car. No damage to the car that was rear-ended into us. The car that started everything was fucked up.
Nice.
Whatever. But we actually got really good parking, and we could walk pretty much everywhere we wanted to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So we're finished New Holland, all that good stuff. We split up from Dev and them because we all went to like a craft show because they had this massive park in the middle.
Right.
And, I like looking at dumb trinkets and art,
Mm-hmm.
So we check out this craft show and we're finally like, all right, let's go. Because in Holland, it's called Windmill Island. There's apparently 55,000 tulips planted there.
Oh, my.
I'm like, that's something we should see. And there's tulips everywhere in the city. I mean, any color you can think of is planted somewhere. It's pretty cool. But we're walking towards this park, and the traffic is getting thicker, foot and otherwise. Mm. And it's starting to get a little nutty, and like Jeannie's hips acting up, and the kids are both like, oh, we're so tired, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at my map. It's like, all right. And we ran into Dev and his family, and they're like, we're going to go get our truck, and then we're going to drive to the island. We'll see you guys. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
So we're like, you know what? We're going to do the same thing. Make our way back to the car. We're starting, and I pull up Google Maps to get to the island. 1 mile, 23 minutes to get there.
Huh. Wow.
Because of the traffic.
Right. Yeah.
And we're like, fuck. So I'm sitting and we're driving in traffic slow. I'm like, you know what? Let's not even, because I'm looking at my map and there's one road onto the island.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. So I'm like, you know what? We're not even, let's go check out that game store that we're going to get disappointed by that I don't know about yet.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just said, screw it. We'll go to Windmill Island later when there's not 8 million people trying to jack off looking at tulips.
Right.
And it's a good thing we did, because later talking to Dev's dad, they got to onto the road, onto the island in their truck, to just be told that they weren't allowing people to park there.
Oh, jeez.
So they turned around and went back and parked further away and then walked, to the island. And it was, for the family of four, it would have cost them $40 to get past to whatever security they had set up.
Jeez.
So I'm pretty sure they said fuck it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because I know his sister was really looking forward to that, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Like you said, go sometime when it's not the festival time.
Yeah, and I know, I understand that tulips, when they flower, they don't stay flowered all summer and shit. Eventually, goes away. But, some year, I'm sure I'll go see it, because I wouldn't mind seeing 55,000 different colored tulips around a giant fucking windmill.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool.
Right.
But not this year.
Right.
I'm good, buddy.
Yeah. I'm with you. I would have had the same feeling. Been like, okay, I want to do this, but not that bad.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
But, we got up this morning because Dev had to travel for work, so he had his family had to leave by 9.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. He's I think, in Florida by now, so.
Oh, my.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
But, so we got up and we did the old campfire breakfast, bacon, eggs, and potatoes on the cast iron.
Nice.
Felt like a man's man, despite the fact Jeannie did all the cooking.
You felt like an old-timey man's man because you told the woman to do it, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I did get the fire going.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
Man brings fire.
Yeah. This is terrible. Whatever. All right. A man's man.
But on our way home, we're like, well, we're going to stop for lunch. Weird, Brian. We're going to stop at a brewery. I know, it's shocking.
I know. That's why I didn't say anything. I was speechless.
The brewery we stopped at, which we need to take you to, it's only 30 minutes from my house.
Okay.
It's up in Saline, Michigan.
Okay.
It's called Salt Springs Brewing.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing your picture of the place.
Yeah, it's set up in an old church. It's gorgeous inside.
Right.
There was all the beers were, if they were just like, yeah, drink that, to amazing. There was nothing that was like, this sucks.
Cool.
At least in my opinion.
Right.
The food was amazing. And it was just all in all, it was a great fucking experience. And we did play all the beers there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Salt Springs, yeah, shout out to them.
Right.
And like I said, it's 30 minutes from my house.
Oh, for sure.
I had no idea it was that close.
Yeah, we definitely got to do that then. That's too close not to do.
Yeah, for sure, right?
I mean, hell, we've drove further.
We drove further.
for not much more,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm probably forgetting something that happened over the weekend, because it was there's a lot of, it didn't get too silly drinking wise. I mean, the neighbors, when I looked like a war zone this morning with Bud Light cans and whiskey bottles everywhere, that kind of camping.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, I always have a good time. As dumb as it sounds, although we did a lot more driving this time than we just did sitting around the fire bullshitting.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like it.
Yeah. Because we were, because where we stayed is right in between, like right in the middle of Grand Haven and Holland. So, like the night before we drove to Grand Haven, and the next day we went down to Holland, and then Jeannie and the kids and I went up to Grand Haven.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
But there's so much good, like, food and beer and everything else in that whole, I love that area of Michigan. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I would go back to Western Michigan all the time. I just like it over there.
Well, I guess, is it, maybe you need to, strong arm Logan into going to school there so you can be like, well, we have to go visit the kid.
Yeah.
I guess while we're here.
It's Parents' Day.
Yeah.
I guess we better go to Kalamazoo. Enjoy all the beers.
Actually, it'll be Parents' Day, and you'll only go to get the beers.
Well, like, if I remember right, from where New Holland is, there's literally a brewery 2 places up the road from them.
Oh, wow.
And then there's, I think, a block and a half away is another brewery.
Wow.
So, I mean, once Holland's not crazy, we can just go to Holland and just walk around and have a great time.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's definitely walkable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends on how many beers you have at each place, but...
Stumbleable.
Yeah. Unless you can't see when you're outside,
Well, there's always a chance you take.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, I'm sure I put on probably 6 pounds of lard over the weekend, but that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was some good beers and good food to my face.
Yeah, worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can melt that back off.
That's the rumors.
Or get lipo, whatever.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I got knives. Let's do my own lipo.
Probably
I
not.
got a knife in a shop vac.
That's probably not the best idea, but I'm in if you need help.
Although, I got to say, the campground, now that I'm thinking about it, that we stayed at, has the most ridiculous putt-putt course I've ever played.
Okay.
It's like completely unsupervised. So there's just things destroyed over there.
Oh, geez, I bet.
You could tell kids were just attacking shit with golf clubs.
Right.
Yeah. You could just see it.
Also because you were doing it.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure when the fountains, if they ever run, it looks awesome because there's all these rivers and waterfalls. But right now it's all dry, so it just looks weird.
Okay.
But you'll have, like, these courses, right? One of the holes kind of looks like a kidney bean.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got a slight bend, no hills. And then the next hole is just some, like, ski jump hill. You got to launch your ball up.
Oh, wow.
And every hole is ridiculous. And then it goes from ridiculous to the most boring thing you've ever seen in your life. It is the weirdest putt-putt course I've ever been on.
Like somebody was having, like us back in the day when we would play that one golf game you had where you could design a course and we used to just make ridiculous holes on it. And
yeah, that's basically it.
And then at some point you were like, I don't want to do 18 of these. And you just like, whatever, for the last like 8 or 9.
That was kind of it, because it started off boring, and then it got silly. And then there was a couple boring ones, and a couple silly ones, and then the last 3 were just boring. It was bizarro world.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
And, granted, Logan, Lee, and I, we weren't keeping score. We were just, knocking each other's balls and playing goalie. We're just, acting a fool, basically.
Right.
Because that's really the only way to play putt-putt.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah.
That's what I do. When I go, I just like run in front of other people's stuff and hit the ball back at them, and it's good fun.
Oh, yeah.
Playing defense.
It is good fun. I mean, I somehow launched mine off the course, and I just was out in the grass trying to chip it back on.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff like that. It was good times.
I'm just thinking about playing defense on it, like on Chappelle's show when he's that dude. He's doing the bowling defense.
Right. Yes. Well, that's kind of what it looked like on the 18th hole between my kids.
Yeah.
Because Leo was wrestling with Logan as he's trying to sink his putt.
Yep, that's exactly how it's played.
Yeah, it's like, there you go, putt with active defense. I love it.
It is the one thing golf needs.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree, sir. Well, I feel like I've been rambling forever.
No, you have. It's fine.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get too much further in here, I wanted to say congratulations to our pal Henno and Stephanie over at the Gotham Lights podcast for recording their 100th episode and hitting the 3-year mark.
Well, that is pretty great.
Yeah, listen, given what they're covering, that's an accomplishment.
Impressive. Yeah, that's like running one of those Iron Man challenges.
Yeah, something like that.
Just given like you said, given the fact that what show it is.
Yeah, it's like running an Iron Man thing while someone's kicking you in the dick the whole time.
Does this count Orville lights?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. If so, we might start calling them phonies.
You're a phony. I was like, because if it's Orville lights, then, I have a little more respect, because I enjoy Orville.
Yeah.
Gotham lights, though. Actually, I'm sorry. With Orville in there, it's kind of like doing a marathon of rollerblades on.
Right.
With Gotham, it's kind of like doing a marathon with, a weight vest on.
Sweet.
That's how I feel about it.
Get them gains.
Because Gotham.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I know. But anyone that hits 100 episodes, I'm a big fan of, because so many people start podcasts.
Yep.
And then just stop.
Yeah. Like, if you get past, 30, I think it's impressive. And then 50, it's like every 20 almost from that point forward, because there's so many shows I've seen only get into, the 20s and stop.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Whether it's, a scheduling conflict or, it's just, I don't know, whatever their reason, Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yep. So yeah, congratulations y'all on that. One of these days maybe they'll join us in the 300 club, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of Gotham to watch.
Oh, boy. I don't know if Gotham will make it that far.
I don't know. We'll see.
I won't.
Yeah, I won't either. Yeah. I'll be honest. I watched somebody on Facebook yesterday posted a promo for this upcoming season where they're really supposed to be, I think, really unveiling the Joker and whatnot. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but the dude playing the Joker just doesn't do anything for me. So,
right.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe the people who like the show will think it's cool. I guess that's all that matters.
I hope so.
It didn't do anything for me, though.
Yeah, I was not feeling it either.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, congrats, guys. Seriously, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I haven't watched a whole lot this week, but, last night, I had remembered that I wasn't current on the show Atlanta. That Donald Glover.
Oh, yeah, right.
Donald Glover does. I've watched I watched the first 5 episodes of the season, but they're up to 10 now, I think. So I was like, oh, I should watch this. And you never know what you're going to get with each episode of that show. Some are really funny episodes. Others are a little darker. It's interesting to me how, especially depending on which character they focus on. And this season seems to have more episodes where it focuses on one character from the main group instead of it being about everybody, Donald Glover has barely been in the 3 or 4 I watched last night. I think he's definitely in 1. I don't know if he's in the other 3, or if he is, it's for a brief minute. It's been other characters, which is cool because, they're focusing on what really is the meat of the show. Whoops.
Right.
But I mainly wanted to talk about this one episode last night. I'm not going to get too far into it, but it's a really weird but fascinating kind of watch. There's an episode called Teddy Perkins. And let me see real quick here. It's episode 6 of season 2. And the one character named Darius goes to pick up a piano from some rich guy's house.
Right.
And when he goes inside, he meets basically a guy who looks super white, and you can tell he's wearing like, you know, prosthetics on his face because it's Donald Glover playing this part.
Oh, okay.
But he's not playing it in necessarily like ha-ha kind of way. The episode's pretty dark, actually. And, again, I'm not gonna, you know, spoil it for anybody, but
right.
It was just a weird, like when I got done with it, I was like, man, that was weird. So.
Did you almost want to rewatch it?
Yeah, actually, because it's so different from every other episode of that show. You know, like this guy basically the best way I can describe the way Donald Glover's character acts is he acts the way people perceive Michael Jackson to have behaved.
Okay, fair enough.
And he talks about how his brother used to be this really famous musician and, basically came down with that condition that, you know, Michael Jackson had, that where his skin went white instead of being, you know, darker.
Right.
And, you know, they actually, you know, it's just, like I said, it's so strange. And, you know, at one point, to kind of break up this tension of this character, like at one point Darius goes outside and he's talking with Paperboy and the rest of the crew are in his car, and he's telling them about this guy. And then he mentions to him that he's got this condition and they didn't know what he's talking about. And he's like, yeah, it's like Sammy Sosa, which I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. Like Sammy Sosa looks white now.
Yeah, I saw pictures when he was kind of, patchy, I guess.
So they look up, you know, pictures of Sammy Sosa on the phone, which is really funny because the guy who plays Paperboy, watching his response when right at the time, he looks like he genuinely saw it for the first time, you know, because he's like, oh, but you know, so they, like I said, they break up the tension with little stuff like that or whatever, but it was really different. And you don't have to have watched the show to really watch that episode, you know, because you don't really need to know anything about Darius, you know, about how he's, you know, kind of the philosophical guy in the group, you know, or what. You don't need to know really any of that stuff. It's just he's going to get a piano because he thinks it looks cool and it's free, and then he ends up with all this stuff that happens. So yeah.
Wow, I see. I am way behind on Atlanta.
Yeah, you easily could watch that episode and it won't spoil anything for you. Like there's nothing like it's really it's almost a standalone. The only reason it's not is because it contains characters that are in the other episodes.
Right.
You know, like it easily could have been a completely different show, actually.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
because I had to look up Sammy Sosa. No, I have not seen this yet, and it's absolutely terrifying. Yeah. I thought I saw pictures until I saw pictures.
Exactly. And I'm not trying to make fun of him. I have a brother who has that condition, so it sucks because the pigment goes away in your skin, and you basically can't be in the sun because you'll get sunburned like super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my brother has to wear long sleeve shirts through the summer. You know, it's really awful for him. So, yeah.
Although someone did put a side-by-side of Sammy and Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and that's kind of funny.
That's pretty funny, yeah. I know, I feel like such an asshole for laughing at that bit, but it was, you know.
They have similar head shapes. It's very close.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anyway, if you get a chance, you should just watch that episode. Because it's just so fucking weird. I'm not saying people will like it, you know. It's just an interesting watch because it's different, you know. My favorite part is in the credits, it says Teddy Perkins as himself.
Really?
Even though it's Donald Glover as Teddy Perkins, yeah.
Right.
Because when you first see him, like, you look at him and be like, who the hell is that? Because you can tell it's fake, you know? And then it's like, is that Donald Glover? So I pull up IMDb real quick, and sure enough, you know, I was like, huh, that's funny.
That is something.
Yeah. So also, I started watching, and there's a real up and downside to this next thing, which is, it was a thing on Hulu, and it's called Ruining History. And I guess it's from BuzzFeed, which is the downside. But it's a show that's like 15, 20 minutes long, and they talk about, like one of the episodes talks about whether or not Ben Franklin was in a sex cult.
Really?
Yeah. And stuff like, like episodes like that, which was a really interesting episode, actually. The only thing I don't like is you've got like a panel of people being snarky through it, which some of the stuff they say is funny, but a lot of it is just like, okay, shut up,
Yeah, you're not that great.
Like, clearly, I get it. You work at BuzzFeed. You wouldn't have had to tell me. But
right. Here's the top 10 reasons I think. Yes, we get it.
Yeah. Here's the top 10 reasons I think you're an asshole. 1, you're an asshole. 2, you're an asshole. Yeah. But anyway, it's yeah. Like they talk about, one of them talks about Johnny Appleseed and telling about, like, cause he was a real guy and telling about, like, his real story and such. So, and they actually try, Applejack during the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, but anyway, that's, although it's kind of an interesting show. There's only like, I don't know, 8 or 9 episodes of it. I haven't gotten through them all yet, but, it's been kind of a little fun watch, except for the, snarky idiots.
Yeah, so sometimes that really turns me off from, shows like that, honestly.
Right, because, like, if it was just telling this story and whatever, I'd be like, this would make an awesome podcast, because there's probably already podcasts out there. Like, Revisionist History does a very similar concept,
Right.
To where he's, telling a different part of history. And that's kind of what this does, too, because have you ever heard that Ben Franklin was in a sex cult?
I mean, I know he liked to dick down chicks.
Right.
But as a cult type situation, no.
Exactly. That's me too. And I'm not saying anybody wouldn't know that, but it was new to me and it was really interesting. And it makes sense actually, cause, Spurtlers, they talk about how he was like one of our key diplomats for a lot of things. So, he basically would be the kind of guy to join this so that he could be part of these guys who are all very influential.
Enough.
That way he'd have their ear, while some dames had their, and,
yes, right.
Anyway, but that makes sense, especially for those times, that you would maybe do something you wouldn't normally do, or maybe he was totally in, I don't know,
Yeah, he probably was completely in.
Yeah. He's like, yo, I'm Ben dicking down Franklin.
Yes, I'm doing more research.
Right? He's like, watch me pull a kite and a key out of this woman's ass.
I call this move the printing press.
Yes. Hey, baby, you want to do the bifocal with me?
Exactly, right?
Like, what's that?
I really wish I could come up with more of his adventures.
Yeah, I know.
So disappointing.
Yeah, but anyway, like I said, that was, it was an interesting thing. Because at first I was wondering what it was, when I read the synopsis for it, and I was like, is this going to try really hard to be drunk history or something like that, And no, it actually isn't. They're actually just telling stories about things that people probably don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Like, there's one on there about Caesar. It's the Battle of, oh man, I can't remember now. Some bitch. Anyway, it's something that, like, Caesar led and whatnot, and, it was talking about, different stuff with Caesar, that the people on the panel were like, oh, really? Because most people's understanding of Caesar is probably, oh yeah, he's the guy that got stabbed a bunch. Or hot and ready,
Yeah, for sure. Or was it Bill and Ted, the salad dude?
Yeah, exactly. How did I forget that? Oh, because I don't really like Caesar salads. So
what?
I don't like the dressing.
What's funny is just this week we were at a restaurant and Logan's like, because he got a salad, and they're like, oh, well, what dressing would you like? He's like, well, can I get Caesar salad? And we're like, well, if you want a Caesar salad, you have to order Caesar salad. You can't just get the dressing.
Really?
Which then we went to on my birthday, that restaurant we went to, the woman's like, oh yeah, no problem, bro, I'm Caesar salad dressing. But it's like, what sort of asshole waitress?
Right?
I can't give you the dressing unless you have the salad.
Like, why? Like, I'm sure
Chef's orders.
There's some way you could, yeah. The chef has prepared that specially for that mix of greens.
For that pile of romaine and cheese.
Yeah. Hand selected with microgreens and anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
Fucking A. Yeah, it's like, seriously, it's like, charge me $2, whatever, like, there's gotta be something here. According to IMDb, it looks like Ruining History is from like 2017, and it only has the 9 episodes. Looks like it wasn't renewed.
Fair enough.
Shoot, where is it? Sorry, I'm looking for episodes here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, here we go. The ones I watched was Ben Franklin in a Sex Cult, The Bizarre Life of Johnny Appleseed, The Most Insane Battle in History, which is the one with, about Caesar. And yeah, those are the ones I've watched. The next one up is The True Story of a Pirate Queen. So I don't know what that is yet. And then the one after that is The Time Britain Burned Down the White House.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, it's kind of, quick, interesting watch, but, I really wish I could do without the BuzzFeediness of it.
the hottest of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yep. Anyway, I'm trying to think. I think that's about all I've watched this week, other than like Bob's Burgers.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and Rick and Morty. I've been watching that a lot again. So
nice.
It's weird.
Nice.
I'm in one of those moods where I don't really feel like starting something new so much.
Right.
So it's like, well, Archer just started, so I'm 2 episodes behind on that. So, I'll probably wait until after this upcoming week's episode, and then I'll jump in and, catch up on that. And that show Baskets I've talked about, the 3rd season's all in FX Go app, so I can watch those now. And I still have a ton of HBO shows to watch, like Barry and stuff like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm behind on that because our HBO kind of went sideways on us.
Yeah, right. I know, it sucks. I want to talk to you about Westworld and I can't.
I know. God damn it.
I'll just tell you all about it. So here's what... Previously on Westworld.
What a bummer.
It's a really interesting season so far, though. I'll say that, and that's it. Because that doesn't give anything away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So what, anything you've watched recently?
Not really, honestly. I mean, I've just been like plowing through Brooklyn Nine-Nine, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another show I want to watch. Yeah, it's so much stuff to watch and listen to. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I've been really burning through my podcast. So
right.
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't really been. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Very exciting content there, I know.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's cool. Oh man, that's all I got for the week, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got here too.
Well, we're right on pace. We're an hour and a half, so.
Oh, beauty.
So yeah, want to go into the Q of W then?
Let's go. Let's dive on into the Q of W.
I'm just making stupid noises.
Oh, speaking of stupid noises, my soundboard turned off.
Sweet. Last week's Q of the W was, if you were a Care Bear, what would be on your tummy?
Oh, tum-tums.
Tum-tums, yep.
Over here on Yon Face Page, got our buddy Philip. Says beer glasses with the ability to Care Bear stare empty glasses to be filled.
Oh, that'd be a great one. Man,
that would be a good one.
I'll tell you what, if Philip has that ability, we need to go live with him.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'd become our dancing Care Bear.
Here's the question. Would he be able to choose the beer, or would it just replicate the beer that was in there?
I would assume the beer that's floating around inside of him.
That's really terrifying.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What's the quality? Is it a mix of bile and shit?
Right, because, I mean, I'm not meaning he just, like, pisses into a mug to refill it or something,
Right.
Should be kind of a weird way of using his Care Bear
That's
power.
a terrible Care Bear stare. Don't do it at the Orr house.
Yeah. He's like, I can refill beers. And like, oh, sweet. And he just stands up. And, like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep.
What's going on here?
Yeah, my Care Bear insignia is on my balls.
Yeah.
What?
I gotta pull the tap out,
They call me Care Barely Legal.
Oh, jeez. That's terrible.
It is terrible.
Terrible.
I do like, and he did, my wife did the same angle here and told what the stare ability is, which I appreciate.
Okay.
Henno, he says, don't give a fuck bear with a middle finger bear badge.
Wow. So the Care Bear stare power for that one would be like, have you I'm sure you've seen like the GIF where it's just like the cartoon where it's just like throwing a bunch of middle fingers like right in someone's face basically.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That to me would be what the power would be.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
That would make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, she says pizza. Oh, wait, you said on, not in.
Well, listen, it was almost what I went with, so.
It's true. It's true.
Just be like, boom, pizza. Kind of like Phillips power, but pizza.
But pizza.
I'm like, oh, you're getting a little low? Blow! More pizza.
See here, Megan, still waiting for that Screams and Moans reboot. She says a black heart with a rainbow coming out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Our pal Kelly, hashtag Kelly fail if you're dev. Alcohol. It's pretty broad.
Did you call her a pretty broad?
Hey, alcohol, pretty broad. Oh.
Ugh.
Speaking of dev, he says he'd be a care cousin. Oh, that's a callback.
Of course he would.
He said, I'd be a care cousin that was a gorilla. My belly mark would be a white Russian. The drink, not Putin.
I actually think Putin would be a better one, like him shirtless on the horse,
Yeah, yes. His Care Bear stare is just machine gun fire.
Right. Or him fist fighting a bear, whatever.
Yes. Michelle, hers is simply eggplant emoji.
Oh my. Lewd.
Lewd.
Or she really likes eggplant, one or the other.
Or either way, yeah. Like, I just like the Parmesan. It's delicious.
Hey, yeah.
And Marsha, she says Riley, which I'm not sure what that means.
I don't either.
But apparently that's the Care Bear insignia.
Okay.
And then my wife, she says hers would be a cheesecake with a music score across the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then surrounding the cheesecakes are music notes that are heart-shaped. So when she Care Bear stares, it's just a bombardment of heart-shaped music notes.
Oh my.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That probably tastes like cheesecake.
I'd hope so. Otherwise that'd be really weird, wouldn't it?
Would be super weird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's what I got on my end of the social medias.
Alrighty. Well, I've got the ones I see here on the tweeters is we have two here. The first one's from Hobie Pod. Says theirs already exists in the form of bedtime bear. And
that makes sense.
It's got some creep outside a window while you're sleeping, I think.
Yeah, staring from the bushes bear.
That's the Care Bear stare.
Yeah. It's slowly jerk my bear dick in the bushes bear.
Wow. It's the I swear officer, I was just looking for my dog bear.
Yeah, exactly. Why are your pants down?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, Officer Bear.
Some bitch. And Jared, official Furge, he says beer mugs, one full and one empty to show the full cycle. So him and Philip would be an interesting combo.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh. All right, what else do I have here? Cheeto Bandito says... Oh, okay. Sorry, this is the first time I've read it. It says a hair bear. way cooler than Care Bears, rode an invisible motorcycle and had froze, it would be a big fuck you to all the other Care Bears. Damn, son. Somebody's got some hostility towards Care Bears.
I know, right?
Man,
Damn.
seriously. Man. Okay, that's what I got.
Excellent. Well, I mean,
Oddly enough,
Good job.
I did enjoy most of those.
me too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Sweet.
Which, if you recall, on our last program, we pleaded with the enthusiasts out there. Begged even.
Yeah.
Please submit Q to W's, because we can only brain so far.
And it's not very far.
No, my God, it's
Not at
barely
all.
braining.
I mean, you've heard Tony a lot of these times. He's not even braining while he's doing the show.
Exactly.
He shuts her down.
Yeah, it's just my body and muscles are just doing shit. My brain's not even there. My brain's in Jamaica.
Well, what people don't realize is that from the point your body starts powering down, you have roughly 2 hours.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just done. Whether we're done with the podcast or not, it's over.
It's over. Yeah, brain goes on vacation immediately. It's got a little tropical shirt and it's getting on a plane.
Yeah, it's the first thing of your body to shut down.
Yeah, it's like, fuck you. Everything else is like, all right, stay awake, boys. We've done this with booze. We can do it without a brain.
Right.
Anywho, but our pal, friend of the show, Annalise from Daft Pod, from the Havelog even, she suggested for a Q2W that was, if you could play guitar, which guitar solo would you shred? Would you play? Would you dominate?
Right.
Which there's so many good guitar solos out there. I mean, do you know what guitar solo you would shred, Brian? Ironically enough, I'm playing with a guitar-shaped bottle opener right now, which is weird.
I mean, it seems like the obvious choice would be November Rain. I just want to, because it's like a 14-minute solo.
You know, I listened to November Rain not that long ago on regular radio.
Yeah.
They cut the solo short.
Oh, I don't doubt it, because it's so long.
Yeah, but it's so rude.
Right. Like, we're not considering stuff like intros to songs as solo stuff, right? Like the beginning of Sweet Child of Mine, you know? Because, I mean, that's fucking iconic.
It's technically a solo, or are we talking about in the middle song where it just breaks?
See,
and everyone's taking a breather except for the dude shredding.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either way, there's pretty much, those are my two right then. So if we'll consider the beginning stuff as solos, it's Sweet Child of Mine, no question, because I just fucking love that intro. And I'm going GNR either way. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, if it's the middle of the song, I want November Rain just so I can eat the stage for like 40 minutes.
I mean, why not?
Right, just because I'm a narcissist.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Right.
Well, I mean, I was gonna go with Sweet Child of Mine, to be honest. Or not Sweet Child of Mine, November Rain. So I was like, but I can't go for it now. I got Hobie'd out of it. I know, right?
That'll teach you to let me go first.
It will.
I mean, you could still pick Estranged and basically, you know.
It's basically the same shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Now I feel like I'm putting my spot here.
I can give you a great one. No. But Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Oh yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's like 14 minutes too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you stage time.
You know? Oh, you know what I'm going to go with?
What's that?
I'm going to go with, do you remember, Brian? A little band called Van Halen.
I think I've heard of them.
And Eruption. Like the whole song, it's just a guitar solo.
Right. Nice. Perfect.
I mean, I figure if I could play that, I could play anything.
Maybe. I don't.
Yeah, maybe. Could be.
I feel like we probably should have picked something from Jimi Hendrix's catalog.
Maybe.
But honestly, the other band I was thinking of was Van Halen, because, you know, they've got some really, again, iconic, songs. Like, you hear it and you know exactly what song it is,
Right. Yeah,
And
for sure.
I've always liked that kind of stuff. Like, you can just, when it was on the radio, like you turn the radio on, you're like, oh, this is whatever. You just know right then, right where you are,
Well, either that or I'll do a little Rage Against the Machine with that. You're like, wicka, 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 wicka.
Yeah, anything by Tom Morello, yeah. That's
Just
fair.
because.
I'd allow that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
it. You're
there
just
you
putting
go.
on shows where you're just doing it.
Yeah. People are like, God, shut it off.
Like, okay, dude, do you need 3 hours of this?
Yeah, we get it.
And it's not even you playing guitar. You're just out there going, wiki, wiki, wiki.
Wooka, wooka, wooka. Like, oh my God, this guy again on open mic night?
Right? Yeah, for karaoke, you just keep picking Rage Against the Machine songs, but you don't sing the words. You just do the guitar part.
Just do Tom Morello
Yeah.
by mouth. That sounds terrible.
I believe you just named the show, my friend. Tom
maybe.
Morello by mouth is the name of this episode.
Oh, this one got awfully deep into the episode.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Man, we need to find somebody to do this. This would be fucking fantastic.
That would be funny.
Because they just keep going up there doing more Rage songs.
Exactly.
Or, I mean, it wouldn't just have to be Rage. Anything from his catalog,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I guess on that note, guitar solos, guys.
Show me what you got.
Thanks again, Annalise.
Yeah, and if, anyone out there has a Q of the W idea for us, please submit it to us.
Yeah, by all means.
Through one of the 4,000 ways you can reach us.
Definitely.
Which we'll cover in a few minutes. Or really right now, I guess, because that's where we're at. And so, okay. Well, as normal, we invite you to go to saltylanguage.com. Check out the past episodes, the enthusiast episodes we've done. All the show links are usually there. If you want to help us out, there's a link on there. If you click that, or go there and click the Amazon banner before you shop on Amazon, we would greatly appreciate it. They toss us a couple cents for every 3.5 million you spend. If other ways you can help the show while you're on there, well, not while you're on there, but other ways you can help the show is, if you're using Apple Podcasts, please rate, review, and subscribe if you have not already. Also, I just totally blanked. I'm doing real well today. Tell you what, man. If you're using Stitcher or Spotify or any of those other apps, please use the like and share options to help us out. Please, share our post with your friends or just tell your friends about us. Say, hey, go listen to them sons of bitches.
It's like the original Batman with Birdman in it.
Right. With Birdman.
Why don't you tell your friends about me?
Exactly. Share the Q of the W question with other folks and stuff too. That would be greatly appreciated. All that kind of stuff helps us out in the long run and, doesn't cost you anything. Just appreciate that you do it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
While you're on saltylanguage.com, you can see the networks we're part of, like the Tangent Network, the Wicked Radio Network, which doesn't exist anymore. I'm reading off a list. We're on the Geek Life Radio playlist, and
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
entertainment.
Nice.
Yep. What am I forgetting here, Tony? Other than the social media stuff, so I know that's coming.
I think just the social media stuff.
Okay. Well, all our social media links are over on the site, including our the snap code for Snapchat. Tony's affixed them to the website.
Indeed.
Yeah. You can also find a link to my other podcast with previously mentioned Henno, which is The Crazy Life. If you want to hear us talk about stuff from our life or mental illness stuffs occasionally and whatnot, please go do that.
For sure, you should.
And if you want to check us out on social media, the best way is on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami, although not as much recently.
Oh, you can find me at Monotony, and definitely not as much recently.
Fair enough. Tony's Twitter feed is just tumbleweeds.
Yeah, basically. And, we are active on Snapchat. Like Brian said, it's salty_language.
I'm at Ninjitsu.
And Salty Language Pod, or no, it's just Salty Language for Instagram, which, I've been posting like a mutta on lately.
That you have. Have.
Which I guess is tied in the rest of our stuff, so whatever. Right. Anywho.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and, all that kind of stuff too, if you want to find us. Again, all the links are on the website, if you want to reach out to us that way. Like we said, if you have a Q of the W suggestion for us, send it, DM us on Twitter or send us an email at saltylanguage@gmail.com with the suggestion. I think that's everything, right?
I believe so, man.
Seems like it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, have beer, you'll be fine.
Stay salty.
Please. Please stay salty.
Definitely.
And I guess, I don't know. Don't forget to wear your Kugaro.
Kugaro. That needs to be another shirt,
Yeah.